Hey guys, I want to talk a little bit about brushes today. I know a lot of people are very confused and don't know what exactly to buy. They don't know what to spend their money on, what not to spend their money on. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about what I personally like and what I use on a daily basis and what I use them for, and maybe some cheaper alternatives to some if I have any. First, I'm going to start off with eye brushes. I keep my brushes in little things like this. This was an old candle, and I took all the wax out and then put stickers on it to make it a little bit cool. So that's how I store my brushes. The first brush I'm going to talk about is this brush. It's a blending brush. Looks like this. It's like fluffy, and it's made by Sigma. It is the Sigma E40. The thing I really like about this brand is that it's such good quality, and for the quality it's so affordable. I think this brush was like $10, so I really do like that, because if you were to buy this at MAC, I think it'd probably be like $20 or $30. Sorry, it's raining outside. So this is what I use to blend out my creases, and usually when I start applying my eyeshadow, I do use this first. So this is like my favorite eyeshadow brush that I use all the time. The next eyeshadow brush that I really do like is this. It's a Sigma blending brush as well, except for this one has goat hairs. It's kind of dirty right now because I used it this morning. What I use this for is sometimes in the lower part of my crease, I use this, and the thing I like about it is that if you're using dark colors, the goat hair is really good because it takes up a lot of the color, so you don't look too overdone, or it doesn't look like too much. So that's what I really like about this brush. Sorry if you hear my dogs. They're playing on the floor and they won't leave me alone. So the next brush I'm going to talk about is my favorite brush of all time. I have no clue who makes it. I'm sure you can find one like it. It looks like this. I think I stole this from my sister forever ago. I use this brush every day. I've had it for like 6 years, 7 years, and it never sheds. It's been such a great brush. I wish I knew who made it. I use this when I apply stuff on my lid. This is usually my go-to brush because I'm just so comfortable with it and it works so well. So if you could find any brush that looks like this, with this kind of consistency and this look, this is the best, I think, for applying any eyeshadows to your lid, and that's what I recommend. I do have these two brushes, both by Sigma as well. One is the pencil E30, and excuse me, this one's the MAC 239. It looks like this. They're both goat-haired brushes. This one I do use to put on my lid. It's kind of similar to this one, except for this one is a synthetic hair and this one's goat hair. So I think I use this the most when I'm applying dark colors to my lid, like a smoky eye or something like that. But it's not my favorite, probably because I'm so attached to that pink brush. But it is a good brush. I got it at MAC, but I'm pretty sure that Sigma has something similar, and it's probably way cheaper. This pencil brush, I use this when I am going for a more dramatic look, like under here in the corners. I don't use this every day because I do go to school and I don't like to look so dramatic every day at school. I kind of have a look like this every day. I wear like a lot of nudes. So this is for like if you're going out somewhere at nighttime and you want a more dramatic look and you want to make the bottom of your eyes pop more, I would use this pencil brush. There are some brands by let me see what her name is. Samantha Chapman. They're called Real Techniques. They're these little purple brushes. I got them in a set. Let me see. I think it was 4 of them for 20 bucks. And like I say on my blog, ULTA always has a ton of coupons on there. You don't even have to be a rewards member. But these brushes I use a lot. Not every single day, but they are really good brushes. I have one missing. It's at my boyfriend's house. But these brushes, for the price, especially if you're a beginner, these are really good. This one's a crease brush. I use this one whenever I do my eyebrows. I love it. It's perfect. It works the best for me. This one's really good for if you're doing up here a highlight. This is a really good brush. It looks like this. And this one I use usually in my tear ducts. If I want to do a little highlight in here, this is the brushes I usually use. Like I said, they're really affordable and they come in a pack of 5. I'm sorry, one is missing. It's really similar to this brush. It's a shadow brush. So if you are looking for something cheap and quick, because the Sigma ones you do have to order and have them mailed to you, I would suggest these Real Technique brushes. I know they have more brushes, but I haven't used them, so I can't really give you an honest opinion, but I have used these and they do work great. Let's see, moving on to the face. My favorite concealer brush is this one. It's by Eco Tools. It was so cheap. I love it because it's like really airy. And I like to apply the product on my face with it. I don't like to really dip my fingers in the product. And when I apply it on my face and I like kind of rub it in a little, I do use my fingers to blend it in because your fingers help, emulsify the product, and with the warmth of your fingers really helps it on your skin. But I do love this. It's a really nice brush. I don't even know what it's called. Oh, Airbrush Concealer. And I think it was a few dollars. Also, I bought this at ULTA. My other favorite brush to apply foundation with is the Sigma. It's called the Flat Kabuki F80. It looks like this. It's flat like this. I'm sure there are different brands that offer something very similar. I've never tried them. This is the only flat kabuki brush I own and I've ever used, and I love it. I think they're maybe $20, maybe a little bit less on Sigma. I'm not really sure, but I love this brush for when I want to use a brush on my face. Years ago, I used to use, where is it? Like this brush or this brush. Like this one's a Dior one. This one's from Ulta Professional Brush. And I did used to really like these brushes until I started using this one. I find that these leave you with more streaks in your face, whereas this gives you a more buffed, like nice even look. Where this one can leave you with streaks that you don't even realize, and then you go out and you're like, oh my god, I have streaks. So I don't really suggest these. I use them once in a while, but you really do have to make sure you buff out your foundation with these and put it on really nicely. So I do suggest this, or like I said before, Beauty Blender or the Ulta sponge. I really love that because it gives you a really natural, beautiful finish. So that's for that. And if you want something light for, I would say for the MAC body and face foundation, it's really like light, or the Tarte has one, the Amazonian clay, it's like thicker. I like to use this brush. It's a Tarte brush. It came with a foundation I purchased from them. I like this one because it's very fluffed and it makes the product go on so nicely. It doesn't give you a really cakey look. It gives you a really nice airbrush finish and really natural at that. I do like this, but it's not something I would say you have to go out and purchase. I really feel like this kabuki can use any product and it's perfect and it's my favorite. What else do I use? I use this brush. I recently bought this on Amazon. It's made by Petal. It's a small contour brush. I use this for my cheeks. Usually when I'm trying to contour or maybe applying a blush, I use this. It's small. I didn't want something too big because it gives you a little bit more precise of a line, whereas some brushes like this, or I have this one, they give you a more fluffed. This is like when I apply a bronzer and I'm not trying to have any shape to it. I use this kind of brush. So these are good brushes. This one's from JCPenney's. My mom gave this to me. My dad gave it to her. She's had it for like, I don't know. It's older than me, this brush, but I love it. But this is like a really nice brush, and it was $7. It's by Petal Beauty. I really think these Petal brushes are similar to Sigma, but the thing about this brush is that I do notice that there is some shedding when I use it. Not anything ridiculous or that you can't handle, but there is some shedding once in a while. So that's the only downfall, but for $7, I mean, you could take off a few hairs or just, you know, fluff them off like this. This brush I bought from Ulta. It's a Studio Gear number 15. I do really like this brush. I don't have any problems with shedding. This is a really nice brush for if you just want to apply some bronzer and you want it just all over your cheeks with no rhyme or reason. This is a really good brush to use. It is really expensive. I think they're like $30 or $40, which really sucks, but it is a good brush, and I've had it for years, and I think they come with a lifetime warranty through Studio Gear, so I guess that is like some sort of compensation for the price. But I mean, I totally understand if you don't want to splurge on a brush because it is a lot of money, and you can look on Sigma's website. They probably have something really similar for half the price. The next brush I love that I recently started using maybe like 2 months ago is this Sigma tapered highlight brush. I'm obsessed with this makeup artist. Her name is Jaclyn Hill. She has a YouTube channel, and she is the best. I am obsessed with her. I think she does such a beautiful job on her makeup, and she always used this brush to set her concealer with a powder, and I really don't know what I was doing without it before. Like, I can't even remember what technique I used, and this is so nice. It gets in there perfectly. Like, if you could see me right now, it's getting in my like creases really nicely, and I always look up because sometimes when you put concealer on like this, it bunches up in your crease. I put it on like this, so my eyes like kind of stretched out, and I apply the powder like this, and this is really nice because it gets like in there, and you don't have to worry about it like hitting your eyeshadow with like a bigger brush like this. It's not like as precise. You see it's kind of hitting like the top of my eye. So this I really do suggest if you wear concealer, and I do suggest with any concealer that you set it with a powder because it will make it like bunch into fine lines. I don't care what they say. I've used so many creaseless concealers and they all seem to settle if I don't use this brush with any kind of loose powder. So I suggest this. This was I think $12, $15. It was really affordable through Sigma. It's the F35. The next brush that I use every single day is this Studio Gear number 10 brush. I don't really love this brush. I mean, I use it because I have it. You know, my dad bought it for me, and it was pretty pricey. I was looking at it the other day in Ulta. The only thing that I don't like about this brush is that it sheds a lot. It sheds so much, and I really hate it because this morning, for example, I was, you know, applying my powder, and it, even though I like the brush in itself, and not, I just don't like the shedding. Like, I was constantly having to be like, oh, there's a hair. Oh, there's a hair. Oh, there's a hair. And I hate that. So I use it because I paid money for it, but I wouldn't suggest this to anyone. Sedona Lace has a brush, and I think Sigma has brushes that won't shed, and they're the same, if not better. So I would suggest buying this type of brush for applying powder from Sedona Lace or Sigma. And last but not least, I use this little guy. It's an Ulta professional brush. It's called Blender. I don't really use it for blending. What I use it for is highlight. Whenever I want to apply a highlight, I like dip it in the powder and I like use it right here to apply it. I either use this one or I use this tapered one, but I really like this one better. I just put it right here, and it like gives it, and it makes it so that it's not like concentrated. It's really fluffy, so it makes the product spread. So I suggest something like this if you want to use a highlight. I mean, some people don't even use highlights on a daily basis, so if you don't, then whatever. But if I had to take away any 3 brushes that I think you should have, I would say this brush, the Sigma Tapered Highlight F35, especially if you use concealer on a daily basis. This is perfect for setting it with a powder. I also suggest, let's see, this, where is it? I have so many brushes over here. This Sigma taper blending brush. I love eyeshadow. It's my favorite part of my makeup look, and this makes it so it looks really nice and blended and not like there's harsh lines everywhere. So I would suggest this. And last but not least, I would suggest this flat top kabuki by Sigma. All actually are by Sigma, and I think if you spend $30 you get like a free brush of some sort, and I love free stuff. So I hope this helps. I hope you guys, find a better alternative to the expensive brushes that they have out there. And let me know if you have any other brushes that you think are really good or you like. Okay? Have a good day, guys.